Percentage say there are 20% of dogs. I'm just playing, y'all. What's up with it? This is Uncle Drewski, and we are here for a short time of motivation with Uncle Drewski. I was trying to make that look like a commercial, trying to make my voice deep. You know how they do in animal shelters, like percentage say there are 20% of dogs who live without homes. But it didn't work because my voice not deep enough, but I like this vibe. I like how I look right now, and I hope y'all like how I look too. What's up, everybody? We are back. Look, I wanted to jump quickly into it because I feel like something cool is happening, and I feel like I'm getting a lot of help right now as we're talking about this. Last week, we talked about what are you going to do with the little that you have. We talked about the talents. We talked about how when God gives you something, it is our responsibility to grow it with what we have. And don't worry about what this person has and worry about this person. Worry about the gifts that we have, right? So today we're not going to dig in the Bible. Yes, I want to share something that's on my heart. So yeah, I was thinking for the past 2 weeks, I've been thinking about stairs, right? Stairs, like walking upstairs. And every time you decide to walk up some steps, every time you decide to walk upstairs, that means somewhere in the back of your mind, you're trying to get to a specific location. You're trying to get to a specific area every time you walk up a step. Now, as you walk upstairs, you can skip a step and get there faster, but skipping steps may cause you to hurt yourself. It may cause you to twist an ankle or hurt your knee or fall. Anything, there's a high risk when you skip stairs. And let me say this, stairs are not meant to be skipped, right? And I thought about it. There are always a certain amount of steps on staircases because it only takes a certain amount of steps to get to your specific location. Some may have 4 steps, some may have 20. It depends on how high the building is or building or room, wherever you're trying to get. It maybe depends on how high or how short it is, right? So, when it comes to our dreams and when it comes to our life and our visions, the things that God has called us to do, in our mind, we see the end goal and we see the destination. In our minds, we have it mapped out. We have the vision of what it should look like, of what it should be like, and we know that here at the top on the main stage is where we're supposed to be. But sometimes what we don't do when we think about getting to our dreams and our visions, all of those things, even when God has put it on our hearts, or even when it's just a goal to make straight A's, right? We never process the fact that it takes steps to get to our destinations. My nephew, my baby boy, September 21st is his birthday. Happy birthday, Aiden, I love you, right? And I just spilled the beans. My nephew is handsome. I love him with my heart. That's my baby. He's like my little brother, right? So he's an amazing athlete, a very good athlete. So he tried out for his basketball team at his school. Now, he wanted to play football. Stuff happened, and he's cold at football, like for real. But he wanted to play on the basketball team. And, you know, when you're an athlete, you play all the sports, especially you can play anything, but sometimes something may not be your strongest sport. But anyway, he tried out, and he told me, when I saw him last weekend, I asked him, I said, did you make the team? He looked sad, and he said, no. I said, okay. It happens before. There are teams that I didn't make. I might have made teams and they didn't put me in the game because that just wasn't my thing. It just wasn't, ooh, hey, put your lighters in the air, woo, wave them like you just don't care. No, so look, there have been times to where I tried out for teams and it just didn't work out, okay? I didn't get in the game. People still laughed at me, but I was on the team. But look, my nephew didn't make it. And I asked him this question because he was sad. I said, okay. I said, your goal, you put everything inside of you. You put all of your energy into making the team. All of your energy into making the team. But then you did not make the team, right? So I said this. How does that make you feel? He said, I feel sad, I'm embarrassed, I'm mad. You know, he didn't say, you know, he just started saying different things. And I said, okay. But I said, what you do with the rejection, what you do with hearing the word no, what you do with not hearing that you made the team by not seeing your name on the roster, it will either make you great or it'll either hurt your self-esteem. You either use this as motivation, as fuel, as fire to continue to reach your goals, or you would just say, okay, I didn't make the team, I'm going to settle, and everything I'm doing, I'm going to have the mindset of I'm not going to make it. Then I thought to myself as I was journaling this morning, I said this, sometimes rejection and sometimes hearing the word no and sometimes not achieving those things is a part of the steps. Woo! It's a part of it. On that step to get to where you're wanting to be, of where you're going, sometimes at this step, you're going to hear rejection. You're going to hear the word no. You're going to face things that don't work out the way you want to the way you don't want it to work out. But what will you do? Will you say, okay, I see the bigger picture still, but I'm discouraged, so I'm going to turn around and walk down the steps? Or will you keep saying, I'm going to stay here? I feel like this, where you are in your life now, right? Where you are right now, it's necessary. You're supposed to be here. I was talking to a friend last night, and I asked her, I said, do you think that God just like maps out our entire life to where in each area, he was like, okay, Andrew, you're not going to make this team. Andrew, you're going to have these bumps on your face at this age. You're going to have this. Or do you think he just says, okay, I put you here, and as you go, I want you to seek me. And as you seek me and have faith in me, you're going to realize and feel what my grace looks like. We don't know, but we can say thank you for grace. For through our hurts and through being discouraged and through our ups and downs, you still allow us to learn and grow. So I'm saying that to say, don't get discouraged as you're walking up the steps. It's a part of it. I remember making $10 an hour in 2019, $10. I had negative $2 in my bank account. And then I was working in a machine shop, and they put me in the basement to clean out a basement. And I said, wow, there's so much that can happen in the basement because nobody sees you. It's dark, it's dirty, it's a place that's neglected, but this is a place to where you can get all of your strength, to where you can get all of your encouragement, to where you can really hear from God. And in that basement, that whole day working in that basement, I made a vision. I allowed myself to talk to God, of course, but I received a vision in the basement. And I'm going to use that as a message later on down the road, and it's not time for that yet. But as I thought to myself, as I found myself being discouraged, as I found myself being upset, I thought about that time I was in the basement, wishing to be somewhere else, and noticing that where I was wishing to be, I'm actually here now. And I didn't see it, I didn't feel it, but sometimes we have to sit back and look back and realize that we are just walking up steps, okay? And just know, being let down, being rejected, being told no, not having things that turn out our way, is supposed to happen. And it's important for that to happen, because if you never hear that, you won't even realize what God is doing in your life. So yes, you may be uncomfortable right now in your season. You may be bored all the time. You may not be on the team. You may be sick. You may be going in and out of the hospital. You may feel lonely and abandoned, but I want to tell you, you are not always going to be in that situation. You still may have residue. You still may feel some of those things, but how you think and how you feel right now is not always going to be the way you think and feel 2 or 3 months later. You never know when your life is going to change. You never know when that blessing is coming. You never know when your aha moment will come, and you never know when that vision will be laid out for you. So like you all, I'm just walking up the steps, and I'm learning to enjoy the steps. I tell people all the time, in the year 2021, God is showing me this. It's not about preaching. It's not about getting called to the conferences. It's not about people knowing who I am. I said, but this year, this season in my life on this step, this is the step of perception. What would be my perception of the vision that God has gave me even though I can't see it? Even though it doesn't make sense, what will my perception be? Would I allow what I see to discourage me from what God has called me to do? Or will I use it as fuel to continue to walk up the stairs? So just know that each step is necessary. Where you are is important. You may not have everything to work out your way, but if you have a vision, if you have a call from God, if you have purpose, and if you know where you're trying to go, if you know you want to get to that school, if you know you want to make that team, what will you do to get there? But make sure that you realize it's just steps, steps, steps. One more thing. Let me say this. Because social media shows celebrities all the time. We see them in their cars. We see them, on the big stages. And we're like, ooh, I wish I could be there. They're 15 and they're already making all this money. They're doing all of these things, but just wait. Because you see them on the stage, but you never saw them walking up the stairs. So people will not see you growing. They will not see that process behind closed doors. They will not see that process of you walking each step, being frustrated, being happy in some moments, and being let down and discouraged. But when they do see you, they will see you on the main stage. But you will be humble on the main stage because you learned everything you needed to know about walking up the steps. Look, guys, I love you all. Be blessed. I'm excited for the ones who are consistently watching. Thank you. God bless you. And just know, with God and with Jesus, everything is lit.